the food in Bulgaria is actually pretty normal stuff. I was surprised when I got there. I was expecting all kinds of crazy, weird dishes, and actually it's pretty normal. It's pretty good. I really enjoyed the food there. They eat a lot of the same stuff that we do here. Lots of vegetables, lots of potatoes, meat, things like that's very common. Cucumbers and tomatoes, very common as well. They do have some influence, of course, from their neighbors. There's some Turkish and Greek food that works its way in, but mostly it's all pretty normal stuff. Some of my favorite dishes are, well, first of all, my favorite food there is a sauce called lutenica, and it's good. It's a tomato-based thing. It's kind of like a pasta sauce or a spaghetti sauce, but it's more of a paste form. Use it for spreading on things like sandwiches and toast, and you can put on eggs. Really versatile. It's delicious. I miss it a lot. You can get some with lots of vegetables in there, and I love vegetables. So it's probably what I miss the most. There's another really popular dish there that is a missionary favorite. It's called Moussaka, and what it's mostly made out of is potatoes, meat, and that's about it as far as the base goes. Sometimes they'll put in a few other vegetables, maybe some onions, maybe a carrot here and there. Typically it's just potatoes and meat. And then the topping for it is made from a mixture of yogurt, flour, and eggs, which might sound a little weird, but when it cooks, it actually works out pretty well. It creates sort of like a pie crust on top of it. And you serve it in a big casserole-style baking dish. You know, cut out a square of it, and that's pretty common. The other cool thing about Bulgarian food is that almost every city or region has its own way to do a specific dish. So for example, the moussaka might be a little different from area to area. The other really common street food that missionaries love is a döner. This is like kind of like a kebab or a pita roll that we might have here in America, but a döner is basically a pita style bread, and then they'll shred off a bunch of meat into it. Typically it's a chicken, sometimes it's other kinds, and then they'll sometimes put some cabbage, put some of this yogurt sauce in there. Potatoes in the form of French fries typically go in there. And then, like I said, each region kind of has a different döner that they make. So some of them will had some shredded carrot in one place, had hot peppers in another area. You know, they kind of just change it up based on whatever they like. And so that's fun. It's also pretty affordable, so you can get one of those every now and then. It's a good, quick meal on the street. The other interesting thing for me, I don't really eat a lot of dairy, and specifically I don't really eat cheese. And they have two main kinds of cheese over there. They don't actually have a word for cheese. This was kind of a struggle for me when I would ask people to not have cheese. You know, I have to be more specific. They don't have a generic word for cheese. You've got to be specific which kind of cheese. Their two main cheeses is a goat cheese, kind of like feta. It's called sirene. The other one is a normalish, more traditional, kind of like a cheddar that's, you know, called kashkoval. And that's a more like solid cheese, I guess. And so typically when I ordered certain food, I'd have to say to have it with no sirene and no kashkoval. I had to cover all the bases. So that's a fun memory for me. But overall, food is good. Not going to have anything too weird. The weirdest thing I ate was some sheep intestines, and it was actually pretty tasty. It was ground up and chopped up in like a hash form with some other meat and things. It was pretty good. So not anything too crazy. You'll learn about the other things when you're there, but overall the food is really delicious, and I would highly recommend trying as much as you can while you're there.